Good afternoon and welcome to the February 12th, 2026 Knoxville, Knox County Planning Commission. My name is John Huber. I'm the chair of the Planning Commission and I'll be conducting today's meeting. Assisting me today is the Executive Director of Knoxville, Knox County Planning, Amy Brooks, and the Planning Commission Attorney, Tasha Blakeney. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Mr. D. R. Munn, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Browning.
Here.
Commissioner Levinson. Here. Commissioner Boyer. Commissioner Barger.
Here.
Commissioner Overton. Here. Commissioner Perez.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson. Here. Commissioner Butler.
Here.
Commissioner Biggs. Here. Commissioner Daly. Here. Commissioner Gill. Commissioner Midas is excused. Commissioner Shuck.
Here.
Commissioner Huber.
Here.
That's 12 present, sir.
Thank you. Now a word on how discussion will take place. I hope all of you had the opportunity to review today's agenda package on Planning's website at knoxplanning.org. In addition to today's agenda, the website contains information on how today's meeting will be conducted, as well as correspondence on individual cases. I will call each item on the agenda and read our staff's recommendation for that item. Once an item is called, the applicant or those in support of that application will be allowed to speak first. They will have a combined 5 minutes to speak on the matter. The applicant may defer their right to speak first to the opposition if they so choose. Likewise, anyone opposed to the application will have a combined 5 minutes to speak on the matter. If either the applicant or the opposition wishes to have an opportunity for rebuttal, they will need to reserve any time remaining out of that original 5 minutes that is allotted. Because of the number of items we have on our agenda today, groups in favor of or opposed to an item are asked to appoint one spokesperson to represent them. All speakers for or against an item should limit their remarks to the facts of the case and avoid repeating information that has already been presented to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission may grant additional time for presentations if they so choose. If you have any items that you would like to make a part of the record, please submit those documents to knoxplanning.org/share or hand them to one of our staff members located on your left. Please identify the file number and meeting date in your submittal. Many of the items we will be voting on today will require further action by either Knoxville City Council or the Knox County Commission. For matters that are forwarded to City Council for action, the applicant or their representative should be present at the meeting that the request will be considered. For matters forwarded to County Commission for final action, the applicant or their representatives must be at the meeting. If the applicant does not attend that meeting, the case will, at a minimum, be postponed and could potentially be denied. All applicants will be notified of the city and county meeting dates. If you have any questions regarding the meeting date process, please contact one of our meeting staff. Today's meeting will be conducted in the order of the agenda. Please stand as you are able as Vice Chair Levinson leads us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, first up on the agenda are the postponements and withdrawals list. I will read these lists separately. Automatic postponement, item number 27, Benjamin C. Mullins. We do not need a vote on that. Automatic withdrawal, item number 34, Viewpoint at Beaver Creek. Again, do not need a vote. We will now move on to items to be postponed. We have One item, number 15, Mainland MCA Knoxville, requesting a 30-day postponement. Are there any other postponements that are like to be requested?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Item 8, please.
Item number 8 for, did you want that for 30 days or 60 days?
30, please.
30 days. Item number 8. Postpone 30 days. Any other items to be postponed?
Yes, sir. Clint Fleming with Jones Brothers, item 25.
Item number
I'd like
20.
to ask for a 30-day.
Okay, item number 25.
Thank you.
Very good, and that's on our regular agenda. We have one more, okay. Yes, sir.
I'm requesting a withdrawal of number 10.
Okay, and we haven't got to the withdrawals yet, but we'll get to there
There we go.
in just a second. So we've got 8, 25,
And 15.
15. 8, 15, and 25. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to postpone items number 8, 15, and 25 for 30 days. We have a motion by Commissioner Barger, a second by Commissioner Daly. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we will now move on to 60-day postponements. We have one. Item number 6, the final plat of the High Line at Washington Pike, Phase 3, Unit 4. Are there any 60-day postponements requested? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion for the 60-day postponement of item number 6. You have a motion by Commissioner Barger and seconded by Commissioner Daly. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Now we are on to the withdrawals. Item number 22, Chevelle Parks is asking to be withdrawn, and we have number 10.
Number 10.
Right, and we have a request from the crowd to withdraw number 10. So Chair will entertain a motion to withdraw item number 22, Chevelle Parks, and number 10. Which one is that? What's the name on that one?
Darren Maroney.
Darren and Heather Maroney. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Commissioner Barger and a second by Commissioner Daly to withdraw items number 22, number 10 from the agenda. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, ayes have it. And we have one withdrawal from the table. The item number 1, Donald Epperly, JDK Properties. Are there any other items to be withdrawn from the table? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion to withdraw item number 1 from the table. Have a motion from Commissioner Barger and seconded by Commissioner Daly to withdraw item number 1 from the table. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. We have now one to go onto the table. Item number 13, Miller Valentine, going onto the table. Is there any other request to be tabled? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion to table item number 13. You have a motion by Commissioner Barger and second by Commissioner Daly to table item number 13. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Okay, we are not removing any from the table today other than what we've done. Okay, next on the agenda is the consent list, which is composed of items marked with a C. These items are considered non-controversial and are voted on all at once in order to save time. Items are listed in the order they appear on the agenda. Please listen carefully. Once an item is approved as part of the consent list, there will be no further discussion on it. After I read the list, I will pause and give members of the public an opportunity to remove an item from this list.
You might just want to make sure.
Yeah, I will. Okay. All right. So the first on the consent list is item number 2, approval of February 12, 2026 agenda. Item number 3, approval of January 8, 2025 minutes. Item number 5, City of Knoxville. Item number 7, final plat of Broom Road Community Townhomes. Item number 8B was postponed 30 days. Item number 12, why do I have that on there? 8. My apologies, we'll go back to that. Item number 8B, Charles Blaylock. Give me a second. Okay, I thought that was the John Sevier one we were talking about. Okay, my apologies again. Backing up, item number 7, final plat of Broom Road Community Townhomes. Item 8B, Charles Blaylock, is on consent. Item number 12, Taylor Forrester.
Hold on 1 second.
Give us another second.
Pardon me.
Okay, we just want to clarify something for the record. It's a bit confusing on application item number 8. There is an A and a B. The part 8A was postponed for 30 days. 8B is on consent. So I just wanted to clarify that for the record, and we are moving on from there. So again, I'll just pick up from there. Item number 12, Taylor D. Forrester. Item number 14, Zach Taylor. Item number 19, Ball Homes LLC. Item number 20, Masana Investments LLC. Item number 23, ECG Acquisitions LLC. Item number 24, Trent Collins. Item number 26, Kelly Graham. Item number 28, James Defenderer. And item number 30 has been pulled, or will be pulled, I believe, from consent. Item number 35, 9608 Bluegrass Road. Item number 36, T. Justin Bunting, P.E. Item number 37, Allie Chamberlain. Item number 38, W. Scott Williams Associates. Item number 39, Reliance Development, LLC. Item number 40, Nate Parsons. Item number 41, Thompson Thrift Development Incorporated. Item number 42, David Harbin. Item number 43, David Harbin. Item number 44, Knoxville, Knox County Planning. Are there any requests to remove any of those items from the consent list? Sure.
Chairman, item number 30, we've had someone sign up to speak on this one, so staff would recommend pulling it off of consent.
All right, if there are no other requests for pulling that, Chair will entertain a motion as read with the exception of item 30, which will be read at its regular time. I have a motion by Commissioner Barger and a second by Commissioner Daly to approve as read. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is item number 8. 9?
Postponed.
None.
Got it. Item number 9, as 8 was postponed.
So this, not this one.
Gotta keep me straight. Yes, I'm with you. Gotcha.
Did you get the staff report you needed on 30, or do you need it?
I've got it.
You got it.
All right, so we are on agenda item number 9. This will require 3 motions. It's a sector plan request change, a 1-year plan change, and a rezoning change. The applicant is Heyo Architecture. The property is on the south side of Bill Williams Avenue on east side of North Broadway. It's 0.68 acres. The current zoning is traditional neighborhood residential and CG2, the general commercial office and infill housing overlay. The requested plan is medium density residential / office. Also is requested, the zoning is requested is RN6. Staff's recommendation is to approve the medium density residential office land use classification because it would provide a transition in land use and is supported by available amenities. With respect to the one-year plan, staff's recommendation is to approve the MDR, medium-density residential office land use classification, because it would provide a transition in land use intensity and is supported by available amenities. Part number 3, with respect to the zoning, staff's recommendation is to approve RN5, not RN6 general residential zoning district, because it is consistent with recommended land use classification and compatible with the surrounding area. The infill housing overlay would be retained. Is the applicant present? You want to step up? Is there opposition to this file? Okay, seeing none, state your name and address for the record, please.
Logan Higgins, 133 South Gay Street. Good afternoon, everyone. So, of course, we completely agree with the staff recommendation for the one-year plan and plan amendment. Both of those are in line with the goal here. As far as the rezoning, the property, as mentioned, is currently zoned CG2 and office, both of which are commercial zones. More intense uses are possible in those than what you would see in the requested RN6. The owner wants to develop it for multifamily, and the CG2 portion allows for that. Office zone only allows for that up to 6 units. However, with some unique aspects of setback requirements, it doesn't make sense to have the O portion be one zone and the CG2 be be CG2. So after, last month we postponed it because after realizing some of those things, the desire was to request CG1 across the board. We met with staff, and after meeting with staff, decided that RN6 would be the ideal request for the owner's goals on this. And we understand that there's not any RN6 directly adjacent to it, or maybe not even too close nearby. But again, it's surrounded by CG2 and office. There's office buildings, large office buildings. Behind it, there's retail, heavy retail in front of it, next to it. So RN6, I think, we believe that RN6 is a significant down zone for this. RN5 is too restrictive in terms of the number of units. It limits it quite a bit. So that's why the request is for RN6. So we hope that you all will go with RN6, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Gill.
Chair, thank you. So I'm quite familiar with this neighborhood. I walk by this particular property with my kids on occasion when it's not snowing. So I'm very well familiar with this area, and I do support the idea that we're going to be getting some more residential in this area. It's a wonderful place to live. I know that because I'm there, and so I'm fully supportive of the Sector Plan Amendment and the change of zoning. It doesn't make sense to have split zoning across there. If the intention is to do residential, we should have that as a residential zone. I am curious though as to I do agree with some of the staff comments that were kind of brought up in our agenda review as well as in the staff report that is specifically referencing some of the height restrictions that are in place in the RN5 district. That Bill and Williams Avenue is actually on a hill. And as you come up from the north as you're coming in, that's actually a hill that's coming up. And there's also a hill that you're coming up on Branson Avenue. So that particular piece of property is pretty hilly, but right at the top of that office is the top of that hill. And so having 65-foot plus buildings right there would pretty well tower over the rest of that neighborhood in a way. And I appreciate Mr. Higgins is probably not planning to do that, but as I point out, and he knows I'm about to point out, we don't necessarily make decisions on zoning within the city limits based on what the developer is asking to do. It's what it can be done based on that restriction. So I'm curious why RN6 is the preferred zone versus RN5 here, if you could elaborate.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. I'll point out a couple things. One, this is in the infill overlay, so it does have to go through DRB for design approval, and if it's too tall, they are able to deny that. Two, if it goes above, I want to say 35 feet, the setbacks do get more intense. So with every 2 feet of height, you get an extra foot of setback. And so if we were to go beyond that, we would end up with a very small footprint, and that just wouldn't make sense. And three, CG2 has a much higher height restriction. So if the intent was to go tall, CG2 would be perfectly fine how it is. And again, of course, you're right. Can't base it off the current intent. However, regardless, CG2 compared to RN6, CG2 does allow for much more intense, much taller buildings. And so the intent or the desire behind the request for RN6 is just the number of units allowed within the development. It's not allowing more than what CG2 would allow here. And I know it doesn't matter, but the buildings are planned to be 3, maybe 4 stories, but they're not planned to go high. But of course, irrelevant.
I understand. So I guess my question would be for staff on this then, as well as if Kelsey would, the difference between RN5 and RN6 with the number of units.
So with the 2 properties being rezoned, it totals about 1.19 acres. And with the RN5 district, it would yield about 33 units, whereas with RN6, about 49.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Biggs, I see your light on, but I do have a quick question for the applicant. So why would you not try to develop that portion of the property in the CG2 then?
CG2 has a Build 2 zone, and defining a Build 2 zone on that as a combined, because they may still be reading as 2 parcels. They're in the process of being one lotted into one.
Right.
If it were 2 parcels, it would be a different story to develop it with that Build 2 zone. But it being one parcel and separated from the road, the Build 2 zone gets very complicated.
Understood. Yeah, understood. Okay, yeah, Commissioner Biggs, please.
Yeah, I think I just had a question around the height limitations of CG2. Curious for staff, like what is that, or are there set height restrictions in CG2 currently?
In CG2, 70 feet.
70 feet? Okay. And I guess I'm kind of inclined to, I hear the applicant's point that like relative to that, this would be a downzoning from a height perspective. So I just question whether that height consideration is really material for this rezoning request.
Understood. Commissioner Butler.
Question probably for staff or maybe the applicant. Just a bit confused. Between RN5 and RN6, the difference in the number of units it can accommodate, why would that not be adding additional floors to accommodate more 40-something units? Is it the setback that's causing the difference?
So that's just based on minimum lot area, not about floor. So just given the size of the lot, how many units would be permitted.
Okay.
Commissioner Overton.
Yeah, I think all the questions I kind of had have been answered. And so some of the mitigating factors as far as height right next to the, smaller residential, I think that there's guardrails in place to make sure we don't have like a towering building if it's not appropriate, particularly the multiple levels of review and the setback requirements and things like that. Just with its proximity, in the city to higher areas of density and all the commercial around it. I'm personally okay with RN6. So let me find the motion thing, because here we go. Should I go in order? Probably.
please do.
Yeah.
You start with the sector plan.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the MDRO land use classification, because as, provided in staff's report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Overton, and a second was Commissioner Gill. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Okay, I'll move on to the other one that's approved.
One-year plan.
The other one-year plan, sorry. Approve the MDRO land use classification, as provided in staff's report.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Overton and a second by Commissioner Gill on the one-year plan. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Rezoning request.
I'll make a motion to approve RN6 zoning because it's compatible with the surrounding area and, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Overton and seconded by Commissioner Anderson for RN6 zoning. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Good luck. All right, item number 10 was withdrawn. We are moving on to item number 11. It is a rezoning, and so there'll only be one motion on this request. The applicant is Andrew Davis. Location is the south side of Greenway Drive, west of Josephine Road. Size of the tract is 1.25 acres. The current zoning is RN1 and hillside protection. The requested zoning is RN3, general residential and hillside protection overlay. The staff recommends that we approve the RN3 General Residential Neighborhood District because it is consistent with the recommended land use classification and is compatible with surrounding development. The hillside protection overlay would remain. Is the applicant present?
And you do have someone opposition,
Yes. So is this Mr. Davis? Okay, if you could state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, there you go.
Hello. Andrew Davis, 10807 Westland Drive.
Okay, well, we do have opposition signed up to speak. Would you like to speak first or defer?
Defer.
Okay, so we have Kathy Jennings Johnson. Are you available? Miss Jennings Johnson. Yeah, is there anyone else signed up on item number 11 to speak for or against? Okay, all right, Mr. Davis, you can speak. If you so choose, you don't have to.
I really don't have a whole lot to say. I was planning on putting a couple duplexes there. 3 to 4 duplexes was kind of my plan.
Okay.
But don't really have anything set in stone.
Very good. Mr. Anderson, Commissioner Anderson?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Anderson and second by Commissioner Boyer. Commissioner Browning, did you have a comment?
Oh, no.
That's okay. That's quite all right. Okay, great. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And ladies.
Deal. Okay, we're on to item number 16. This is one motion. This is a missing middle housing appeal. Let's see. Just read it. Yeah, staff recommends that Planning Commission evaluate this application based on its specific merits regarding middle housing. The Planning Commission should discuss whether the structure is neighborhood scale housing form and is compatible with the existing housing in the surrounding area, whether it is similar in footprint, height, and setbacks with the existing neighborhood, and whether it will not be injurious to the neighborhood or public welfare. Each application is reviewed on its own merits separately. Land use decisions are considered on a case-by-case basis, and they are not fully bound by precedent. Boards are free to make different decisions on even similar projects, as no two pieces of land are exactly the same. If the Planning Commission makes a different decision on a similar application in another location, the Planning Commission should provide reasoning as to why their decision differs from staff. And we see the applicant. Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
R. Bentley Marlowe, 322 Douglas Avenue, 37921. Is there any opposition?
I was getting ready to ask the same question. Is there any opposition to this appeal request? Seeing none, you have 5 minutes, Mr. Marlowe.
All right, thank you. So yeah, I'm confused why we're here. This was submitted, it's almost an identical design, submitted at roughly the same time as our previous appeal next door at 1214 Callaway. I thought we had already resolved the ambiguity in the code between a townhouse and a multiplex in my favor as the state law requires, but nevertheless, once again, the goalposts have moved. Now they're talking about gross floor area and impervious and building coverage area, which is not found anywhere in middle housing, and very surprised at why that's brought up now. I will state that this lot is huge. It is 75 feet wide. The lots immediately to the right are 25 feet wide each, and the lots immediately to the left are 30 feet wide each. So this is roughly a 3 times larger lot than most of the houses or lots on either side of it. So I think it's only appropriate that this house be larger. It's zoned RN4. It's over 10,000 square feet. So if we were to apply base zoning, I'd be entitled to 5 units. I would be within the lot coverage area allowed. I would be within the impervious lot coverage area allowed. So really what I'm asking for is 3 additional units under middle housing. And I meet all of the guidelines and requirements of middle housing, and I believe that an increase from base zoning from 5 units to 8 is exactly the intent of middle housing. Thank you.
Thank you. You have, Mr. Bartholomew, state your name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Thank you. Parker Bartholomew, 5406 Summit Ridge Lane. As is normal, I come bearing gifts. Page 1, you'll see a corrected Exhibit B. The street view that staff provided in their package was from 2018. This is the newest updated one, street view, and then a photo I took right below that. The next 9 pages that you're going to see are 2-story single-family residences that are in this neighborhood and duplexes, okay? If you'll flip to page 11. Page 11 is a map showing the neighborhood. The subject property is marked with a black dot. Each red dot is a 2-story single-family or duplex, many of them being in the previous photos. The light blue dots are duplexes or multifamily because many of them have multiple structures on a single lot. Green dots are 2-story churches or community buildings. The purple dot is Mr. Marlowe's primary residence, and the dark blue dot next to the black dot is one of the appeals that was approved by Planning Commission in August. Throughout this neighborhood, we have 2-story structures, duplexes, and multifamily. In missing middle, there are clear dimensional standards that must be met. These standards are on page 12 of the package that I provide. Staff mentions 2 standards specifically as justification for why they have denied this plan. The dimensions they reference are on the bottom of page 12. The footprint allowed by the code is 5,200 square feet. The footprint of the proposed building is 3,370 square feet, meaning this meets it and it's 64% of the maximum allowed. Staff also uses max floor area and establishes a maximum of 13,000. How they determine that number, we don't know, and how they determined our floor area, we also do not know. But we know we don't need to wonder because our architect included it on the plans. Using the staff's maximum floor area of 13,000 square feet and our architect's plans of our square footage, it's 4,552, or 38% of what staff says is allowed. This standard was created, it's the first time it was created, was when this agenda was packaged. Never before has staff said that the floor area is too high. If this was a criteria that justifies the denial of the plan, it should have been brought up before 6 days ago. In page 13, Chair, may I have a couple more minutes, please? Is that possible?
Well, you've still got 1 to go right now.
Sorry, is it?
Yeah, you still got a minute to go.
Okay. This building meets all of the criteria that's on page 13. Let me draw your attention to number 4. It says, in order to generate missing middle housing buildings that are similar in footprint, height, and setbacks with the existing neighborhood and increase visual interest, yet allow for flexibility in designs, the following requirements apply to all missing housing types. All of the requirements that are spelled out are met. This building meets all of them, okay? On page 14 is the plan that was approved next door. This is the exact same building. It's the exact same heights, the exact same drawings, the exact same square footages on each unit, and it was approved on appeal, as you can see with the vote down below. It has 5 dwelling units or 810 square foot on the lot per unit. The next page, page 15, is this unit and this plan, and it has 1,265. So we're actually using more land here per dwelling unit than next door.
So maybe another 30 seconds, Mr. Bartholomew, is that okay?
No.
You
I
good?
think that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gill. I seem to remember a comment that was
Yeah, so you knew I was going to hit my lights, so appreciate you looking.
about bringing one back.
Yeah, so thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. A couple of things, bear with me on here. I just want to be clear because there is some history on all this, and I think it's important to get it on the record. So this appeal's in front of us today, and just to ask and make sure that why it's in front of us is that we amended the middle housing guidelines so that decisions of design were going to be going in front of Design Review Board, correct? So was this submitted prior to that change, so those vested rights are now under, that's why it's before us?
That's correct.
Okay, so I figured that, and I just wanted to make sure that's on record. So we're evaluating this based on some of the older standards, and I think that's important to point out. However, I do kind of want to bring attention to something that's kind of been said a couple of times that I feel like is not being completely honest. Is so we've been told multiple times that this is the same one that we saw on appeal in August. I believe the case number was 8B25OB, which is the appeal that we were on, so it was back in August. And at the time, I distinctly remember saying, I never want to see one of these in front of us again, because we were evaluating on the old standards, and we made the board's intent extremely clear, and council made the intent extremely clear that we didn't want to see these anymore. Apparently, that wasn't the case. There was one that was still in the works here, so here it is for us. So I guess one of my comments is, and I want to just be clear, is this is not the same one that we saw in August. That one is 5 units, and it is a single multiplex that fits in slots within that housing form. And so if you're driving down the street on Callaway, it looks like a single family house. And behind it happens to be 4 more units. And that was the crux of the argument that I believe I made at the time, which is from a perspective of somebody living in these units, it would appear to be in harmony with the rest of the neighborhood because there's a lot of narrow lots on here with a lot of narrow housing forms. I'm looking at the design that we have in front of us now, and that's not really the case now. Now we have a U that goes around the back, and now there's 3 units on the back of the property that stretch across that are not facing the street, that are in the very back of the lot on the alley. I'm curious as to why we couldn't have all the units on the front of this. I mean, we have a 75-foot front here. Why are we having units in the very back of the property?
So it's a copy of what's next door. It's just because this lot's wider, we have 2 units on the front, and then we expand it in the back by 3 units, and that is all to save the 2 mature pecan trees. So if you recall, this property has been before you. I think this is the 3rd appeal. I have tried. I ran into build-to zone versus setback issues when I tried to save the historic house and put duplexes around these trees. I have tried to do everything possible. I can't save the house economically. It's got to go. I can still, if we approve this, I can save these trees. Or I could go back, under base zoning, Peter Ahrens, 2.5 years ago, said, Bentley, just cut the trees down, build 5 units, and move on. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have taken that advice. But here I am being penalized for trying to save the 2 trees. But that is why the rear of the building gets wider, is because the U hooks around those 2 mature trees to save them and create sort of a courtyard. So when viewed together, the one that's been approved that's long and skinny on the 30-foot lot, this one creates a U, and then together they'd be a a courtyard with these two mature trees in it. And then, of course, the buildings will be about, I think they end up being 10 feet apart or so. But they all, it's designed to kind of work together. And the reason we say they're the same is we literally had the architect take what we designed for 1214, which is 5 units on 30-foot wide lot. We stuck it on a 75-foot wide lot and then added 1 unit to the front to stay out of the tree protection zone for the front pecan tree. And then we could add 3 units in the back because the building goes behind and it pushes, or the second pecan would be inside the courtyard, if that makes sense. I don't think the landscape plan got uploaded, but it shows where the trees are relative to the building. And all of this is to put 8 units there that saves these mature pecan trees. And like I said, under base zoning, I could have 5 units. I could build this same shape structure, the same square footage of building coverage, impervious. I'd have to get a variance to delete the parking because I'm not showing parking because that's not required under middle housing. But other than that, this could be built under base zoning with 5 units, and I could just take out some of the party walls and make the units larger if I wanted. So this is really a question in my mind of, are we committed to increasing housing gently, or are we an anti-housing regime?
Commissioner, if you're done, Mr.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I appreciate that. I think this lot keeps coming up, and every time we keep talking about, you kept talking about putting 2 duplexes on it or trying to get a quadplex on it, and now it's 8 units. So what you're saying is that on the, let's say on the screen that's in front of me on the left-hand side is the other units that we applied, so there'd be 5 more units. And what we'll have as a U, as you drive by on the street, there'll just be a courtyard, and there's going to be 3 units along the back of this lot.
Correct. And then those 2 mature trees sit. One of them sits approximately, I'm working from memory, somewhere about where the cursor is. And then the second one is about 10 feet in front of about maybe where that cursor is, somewhere in there. So the trees will break up some of that. I mean, it's...
How many more of these do you have coming before us?
There are 5 triplexes that are still in the pipeline. Again, I believed, and I tried, Chair, I went to Chancery Court and said, hey, this ambiguity in the law has been determined. I think that set a precedent, and the Chancellor said that I could not bypass this administrative procedure and told me that if you guys and or council made the mistake, I could then bring it to him to fix, but I had to come back to you. I tried, guys. I really did.
Very good. So Commissioner Anderson had a comment, I believe.
Question, Samuel, you may be able to help with this. So I know a lot of our staff's rationale for denying is based upon scale. Could somebody build a single-family home on this lot this exact same size or larger? I think the answer is yes.
In Peso, there are maximum building coverage. We have not calculated that. So in middle housing, there are no maximum building coverage.
If I may, RN4 allows the building coverage to be 45%, 40 or 45% off the top of my head, and you just calculated this to be 30-something.
The single-family house building coverage is 35%, multifamily, I'm sorry, that's for townhouses and multifamily. And townhouses and multifamily is 50% building coverage. Single-family is 35%. For impervious surface, it's 45%. For townhouses and multifamily, it's 60%.
So is that a yes? I mean, theoretically?
I think a house would look different on this lot. It would be more similar to other houses on this block face.
Okay. I guess what I'm questioning is if you could build something this size on this lot, does that then, that would be the new scale that we would be measuring against? I don't know. I understand there's frustration here and some friction, but I don't necessarily completely feel like this couldn't work here. If there's any other opinions in that matter.
Commissioner Overton, did you have a opinion?
Of course I do. Yeah, no, I agree with Commissioner Anderson. I don't really have a problem with this because I get where everyone's coming from. I really do. But when you talk about scale, to Commissioner Anderson's point, if you've got not only the fact that you could build something bigger on this particular lot, but this area in general, when you look at a map, it looks like everything's kind of the same. When you drive through Mechanicsville, I would argue it's kind of a mixed bag. And I think this is going to sound worse than I mean it, but sometimes I think it's okay to be comfortable with making the scale different in some areas. I think that that can improve areas. I think that, like Mechanicsville, I think that when we limit ourselves on scale in areas where there's like a diverse mix of uses and building types because of single-family homes around it, then we're just saying, okay, well, we can only have single-family homes inadvertently. And I know people on this board are not saying that today, but just in theory, then we end up with giant single-family homes, and the only people that really serves are frankly, white liberal snobs like me, who are gonna come in and put a bunch of, renovations on some big house, and then it'll be 4th and Gill Jr. and we'll sell it for 1.5 million because it's got reclaimed wood. And so I think the purpose of middle housing is to provide more housing types at a scale that makes sense where it is in the neighborhood. I think in this neighborhood, in this instance, this type of scale makes sense. I think if I had a different example, up in Edgewood, maybe this wouldn't make sense. And so I'm personally comfortable with this. So I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, we have a couple more comments. Commissioner Butler, if you'd like to.
I think I understand this proposal a little bit better now that you've explained its partner relationship with the adjacent lot. I do think it would help. I think the examples that have been shown here are quite different, and they are of the scale of a single-family home. And the scale that you're presenting here is more of a court-type development in the missing middle. I do think there is some varied scale in this community. In fact, some of these houses I designed in the Hope 6 effort. And I do think should be considered. I think there are better examples of how this could be considered in the residential urban environment. And it's going to, I think, change the scale similar to a way like apartments, small apartment buildings, older apartment buildings pop up in these older neighborhoods. And I think this is going to feel a little bit more of that scale, even though it looks like an individual house on every one. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I do appreciate the effort to save some trees there. So I am totally in favor of increasing density where we can. I do not think it is the scale of the adjacent. I agree that the staff has that right. It's not the scale of the adjacent houses and everything, but it may be okay in this consideration.
Thank you, Commissioner Butler. Commissioner Biggs.
Sorry if this has been discussed and I missed it, but if somebody were to build a single-family house with this same dimension and say they want to build a courtyard house around the pecan trees, I guess question to staff, would that be allowed in this location?
It would have to meet a different set of standards. 35% maximum building coverage. The setbacks are also different in RN4 and middle housing. For example, in RN6, you need to keep 25 feet rear setback. In middle housing, it's only 15 feet.
Okay, but I guess overall, square footage and area, would that be allowed? Assuming they complied with the setbacks? There's nothing about the physical floor area or height that would be in violation of that? Is that right?
It's possible to have a large structure there.
Okay. And I think that's maybe where I'm struggling a little bit with the recommendation is that I don't know that, I appreciate while the setbacks would be different, the overall scale and size doesn't seem out of character with what would be allowed otherwise. So, yeah, I think I'm leaning towards supporting this.
Thank you, Commissioner Biggs. I've got a quick comment before, scale, and that's what we're talking about, and that's why we have professionals like Samuel to review this kind of thing too. But I do, and this is just a comment, I'm not saying I'm for or against it right now, but I do feel like we're still trying to have this 1 foot in the base zone and 1 foot in missing middle, where, as Mr. Marlowe had mentioned, he's like, well, I can just take the party walls out and this works in the base zone. But now we're dropping in party walls and running the density up, which I'm not anti-density. I guess I'm just making more of a comment. At some point, if we've got 5 more in the pipeline too, we need to try to figure it out a little bit. But Commissioner Gill.
Yes, thank you. I have one more comment, and I think I want to be clear that I think that and with respect to my fellow commissioners, the concept of it being a family a single family home and the similar scale is a non sequitur. It's not the scale that's what I was pointing out. It's more that it is the form on the lot. It has houses across the back. However, after being explained with it being part of a larger U with the housing that we've already approved next to it, I can understand the point of the design, and I'm not opposed to the courtyard motif. I am more along the lines pointing out that Commissioner Huber is right. We continually are abusing the middle housing guidelines by keeping feet in 2 lays, and then we're picking and choosing what we think works to make the form that we want. And we've closed that loophole, and it's not that I'm not for this project. I'll be voting for it, because I made the motion for the other one that has been referenced. I'm just frustrated that we continue to be litigating these questions. This is a question of design, and that's why it's supposed to be in front of Design Review Board. The difference between the form and the scale is what's at issue, and we're confusing the two here, and I think that's why Design Review Board is a better location for this to be appealed. That being said, I'm in support of it. I just wanted to know how many more times I'm gonna have to do this dance. So that's all.
Potentially 5, but I would hope that maybe after some of your comments, staff might revisit the other denials.
Very good. So we have a motion and a second on the floor for approval. And again, the motion was by Commissioner Overton and then second by Anderson. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to item number 17. This is will require 2 motions. It has a variance and a final plat. The applicant developer is Elfridge Defoe. The location is on the north side of Wooddale Church Road, west side of McCubbins Road. The approximate acreage is 3.01 acres. Number of lots is 2. Variance required is to allow the remainder of Lot 9 to be left without the benefit of a survey. Staff's recommendation on the variance is to approve the variance for the subdivision plat to allow the remainder of Lot 9 to be left without the benefit of a survey based on the following evidences of hardship. There are 3 listed here. I guess who would... Very good. Okay, so we have 3 hardships on here that are listed. And recommendation on the final plat is to approve the re-subdivision plat to create 2 lots in the A district. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Okay, state your name and address for the record, please.
Elfrida Defoe, 1412 McCarty Road, Knoxville, 37914.
Thank you. I apologize for mispronouncing your name.
It's okay. It's spelled a little funny.
Yeah. Yes, is there any opposition to this application? No? Very good. You have the floor. You can speak, or we can move on to the
I'm
council.
just here to answer any questions you might have.
Very good. Anyone have any questions? Any commissioners? Chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation on the variance.
I move to approve the variance for the subdivision plat to allow the remainder of Lot 9 to be left without benefit of a survey based upon the stated evidence of hardship.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Anderson, seconded by Commissioner Levinson to approve the variance on there. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
I move to approve the re-subdivision plat to create 2 lots in the A district.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Anderson, second by Commissioner Levinson. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We are now moving on to agenda item number 18. This is a final plat as well. It will require two motions like the last one, as a variance and a final plat. Staff recommendation on the variance is to approve the variance to allow the remainder of the tract of land described in the deed for parcel 024066608, instrument number 2025-0811008228, to be left without benefit of a survey based on the following evidences of hardship. There are three evidences of hardship listed in the staff recommendation. The staff recommendation on the final plat is to approve the final plat to create 3 lots in the agricultural zone. Is the applicant present?
I'm sorry?
The applicant present. Are you the applicant?
Yes.
Yeah, state your name and address, please.
Rick Fagan, 140 River Ford Road, Maryville, Tennessee.
Very good, Mr. Fagan. Yes, this is on the east side of Strong Road, west of Hudson Road, 4.153 acres to be subdivided into 3 lots in agricultural zone. Is there any opposition to this file? Seeing none? Okay. Question for engineering. Have you guys read any of the 3 evidences of hardship?
Yes, we have.
Okay, and you don't have any problem with any 3, and you agree with the recommendation?
Yeah, we don't have any concerns.
Very good. Thank you very much. Just wanted to clean that up legally. Okay, great. So any commissioners have any comments? Chair will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the variance to allow the remainder of the tract of land described in the stated deed to be left without the benefit of a survey based upon the stated evidence of hardship.
We have a motion by Commissioner Anderson, a second by Commissioner Barger to approve the variance. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
I move to approve the final plat to create 3 lots in the A zone.
Have a motion by Commissioner Anderson and a second by Commissioner Barger to approve the final plat. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. We are on to agenda item number 21. This is a rezoning report, and it will require 1 motion. The applicant is Clouds Rest Development, LLC. The location of the property is the west side of Byington Beaver Ridge Road, north of Byington Solway Road. It's 4.97 acres. The current zoning is PRK, up to 4 dwelling units per acre. The density proposed, is 4.3 dwelling units per acre. The staff recommendation is to deny the planned residential zone up to 4.3 dwelling units an acre because there has been no new change in conditions to support increasing the density at this site. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
State your name and address for the records, please.
Coleman Sullivan, 2418 Glen Meadow Road.
Is there any opposition to this file? Seeing none, Mr. Coleman, go ahead.
So we obviously are looking at a piece that's had some history with it. I think this was already approved at Planning Commission at 4.3 with the condition of a landscape buffer. We're looking to do the same thing. We don't feel like the 2 additional units would be impacting anything negatively any more than 18 currently would be. And that's pretty much our proposition here.
So I do have a question. I remember when this came through several months ago, and we did approve it at 4.3, and then it went to county commission, but it was withdrawn before it went to county commission. Can you explain that?
I'm not too familiar with that. It's past tense since then. I do know that there was some concerns with access and DOT recommendations. We have some back and forth with DOT that they're welcoming an entrance on the south side of the frontage, separate from the existing home,
where I think it was maybe initially proposed to use the existing entrance. And we're looking at coming in on the south end of that. And they, as long as everything checks out through planning and the whole process, they have no issues with that.
So is that engineering, is that something you guys have taken a look at, or?
Well, originally, there's a existing driveway on the original development plan. They were showing an access point to the south, and TDOT wanted that access combined. They didn't want a driveway and the private right-of-way that close together.
But they could always just turn that driveway onto the JPE, I would assume.
I think that was the hurdle. There's a pool back there, and the garage is on the other side. But yes, that was the last recommendation from TDOT that we heard.
But nonetheless, we're still at just the zoning stage on this project, so we're not looking at any particular plan. But so you would have to meet anything that TDOT or Knox County Engineering would require. But yeah, I recall this coming through, and I think I have the same opinion. I mean, your road, I don't think it's getting any longer, so there's no more impervious, there's no more, effectively. So I'm understanding of the request, let's put it that way. But Chair will entertain a motion. Unless there's other questions.
I'll make a motion to approve at 4.3 density units per acre. Because I think it's consistent with, somebody help me out. Yeah, it's consistent with what we approved before.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to approve the planned residential up to 4.3 dwelling units because it is consistent with what it was we had already voted on before. And I think that was mainly the area can support that, and there's no, the density is not going to be negative to the area. Is there a second out there somewhere? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Anderson, a second by Commissioner Levinson. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
If nothing changed, why did we have to vote on that again?
They withdrew it before it went to county commission. We voted for 4.3 units an acre. They withdrew it before the county actually made the change. Now they're coming back through to request 4.3. Now they'll go back to county commission to officially change the zone. Is that good? Yes, okay, very good. Now we are on to agenda item number 29. The applicant is Elite Construction. The location is the northeast side of Bakertown Road, across from the eastern terminus of Burt Newman Lane. The zoning is planned residential K, up to 2 dwelling units per acre. The number of lots requested is 12. This will require 2 motions, one of the concept plan and one of the development plan. The staff's recommendation on the concept plan is to approve the concept plan subject to 9 conditions. The staff's recommendation on the development plan is to approve the development plan for up to 12 single-family houses on individual lots and reduction of the peripheral boundary shown on the development plan subject to 1 condition. Is the applicant present?
I am Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street, here for the applicant.
Thank you. Is there any opposition to this request? Number 29. Okay, I don't see any opposition. You have the floor.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you all. This came up during the agenda review, and we appreciate the work that staff has done on this. We're in agreement with everything except one condition that I wanted to focus in on the conversation this afternoon. This property was rezoned to 2 dwelling units an acre. Late last year, it's 6.27 acres, and with 12 lots, it's a density of 1.96 dwelling units an acre, just within the 2. The zoning was approved with a single zoning condition, and that is that there be a 50-foot tree preservation buffer along the north and the eastern property lines, which is on the plan. That tree preservation buffer is intended to be part of the 12 lots that we have subdivided, and with covenants and restrictions in place for each of the lots to prevent those tree buffers from being disturbed. What staff is asking in condition number 6 is that the developer create a 13th lot for that 50-foot tree preservation buffer, and so that it would be then just common area. And I understand there's lots of practical reasons for staff's request. These tree buffers are always going to be, whether it's in covenants and restrictions, whether it's in common area, but it's backed up to somebody's lot and people treat them as it's their lot, it's always going to be an enforcement issue. And whether it's in common area or whether it's a part of the lot itself, it's going to be an enforcement issue. It's going to be the problem of both Knox County codes and the HOA, regardless of which path we pick here today. The problem that the applicant has with creating the 13th lot, there's two. One of them I raised in my letter. It would actually drastically affect the setbacks for those lots. There's one lot that right now is 148 feet deep. If you do it 50 feet for the lot line, then with the 35-foot peripheral setback, that's an 85 feet in with a 20-foot setback on the front property line. You're really constricting the envelope that one can build and putting accessory units on those lots. And that creates, I think, unintended issues with doing it this way. The other thing, which I didn't raise, is one of those questions you're kind of afraid to ask the question because you don't know what the answer might be. This is right at 1.96 units an acre for a 2 units an acre zoned property. If we create a 13th lot, does that affect our density? And we only have, we're actually over our density at that point. This is another one of those things. I know no one really wants to hear this. This is something I think the UDO needs to fix because the subdivision regulations don't provide any authority to this body to force the creation of a 13th lot. I think it was a different case, but I believe it was Commissioner Anderson asked, does this body have the ability to make a lot be placed in common area? This is the other side of that question. Does this body have the authority to force the creation of a new lot just to put in the common area? And I would tell you that currently, looking at the subdivision regulations, the answer is no, we don't have that authority. I'm all for trying to fix the issue with enforceability for these things. I just don't think it's appropriate to do it at this time on this property in this way. It's something that we need to look at in the future. Traditionally, this type of issue, landscaping buffers, tree preservation buffers, that has been enforced the normal way, and that's through covenants and restrictions, and covenants and restrictions are specifically contemplated in the PR zone. So I would ask that condition be revised, this be allowed to be part of the 12 lots that we have platted. We'll put down covenants restrictions. We'll, inform the HOA, when they are officially constituted, they need to enforce this. But that's the more appropriate way to do it until we get another tool in our toolbox with the subdivision regulation amendment. So respectfully, I'd ask you to approve this with that one modification to condition number 6.
Thank you, Counselor. Just a quick question for engineering. Yeah, this could pose an enforcement situation for you guys. Is that right? I mean, have you guys taken a look at that?
Yes, it's going to be difficult to enforce either way it's being said. If it, people are going to buy these lots thinking they have the depth of them, and then in reality they don't. I don't know what the answer is, how we could better enforce it, but
right. It is challenging. My concern would be, as a property owner too, it's almost, requiring. I think to your point, Counselor, requiring a common area which moves that back lot line. And then now you're in different setbacks. I thought it was interesting. We're allowing a variance on the rear setback or on the peripheral boundary on part of it, but then we're coming in saying you got to be 50 feet in in another area. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, is there another way? I think there was some talk of maybe recording something in a deed as well.
Yeah, that would be deed restrictions, covenants restrictions in place, and we would be agreeable to do that. I think that's typically how these things have been done in the past, since subdivision regulations don't really have the authority to, create a lot. If the larger lot, I think there's one coming up where we are putting a lot into common area, but they're doing that voluntarily. With a large lot, you have a lot more flexibility with that. And this one, at 2 units an acre, with it being 6 acres, I mean, it's 12 nice lots are going to be nice, $1 million homes probably. It's not a super large subdivision, but because of the size of the lots and the restriction on the density, it just creates some issues.
Commissioner Hill.
Thanks for being recognized, Chair. I'd like to make a motion to approve concept plan subject to the 9 conditions and deleting on item 6 that shall be in common area. Will that satisfy?
That would satisfy us.
Can I make a suggestion on that? Just real quick. And real quick clarification as well, but if a common area was created, there's not a peripheral setback that begins at the edge of that. There'd just be a common rear setback to those houses. Just kind of want to throw that out there, so it wouldn't be a peripheral setback on top of it.
Right.
But make the building setback at least at the 50-foot mark, but probably bigger, at least 10 to 15 feet off the rear property line, so we're not building right up against that preserved tree area that would pretty much, render the property owner desiring to then cut into those trees to create space from their house.
Say that again.
We have the 50-foot buffer, right? Put a building setback at least 10 feet or 15 feet off of that off the buffer, so that you're not building right up to the tree protection boundary, especially with the primary structure, because that alone will, to build right up to it, will encourage them to take trees out of the tree preservation buffer.
Does engineering have a comment on that?
Well, yes, I agree with Mike on that. I think that is a good solution. But the other thing is, if it's only in the deed, my staff doesn't read the deed. So if someone came in and wanted to place a pool in that, without there's something on the plat showing that easement or that buffer, we're never going to know it, so we don't read every deed for every building permit. So
I think it's on the plat, the 50-foot tree buffer there, Steve. Is that enough for you to?
On the concept plan.
To see that?
If that's placed on the plat, then I think that's good enough for us. And I do agree with Mike, if we had a 60 or 65-foot rear setback on those lots, it wouldn't promote them clearing that tree buffer to try to build in it.
Well, just, a thought on that too, though. I mean, we're already saying there's a 50-foot setback effectively. All right. I mean, do we need to go to 60 or 55? I'm just throwing it out there as a discussion. Commissioner Gill, you had a question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I understand the idea. What I'm tracking that Mr. Reynolds was saying is that we had a 50-foot tree preservation that we want nothing to be built near. And if that was the rear lot line, then you would then have setbacks from that would prevent any accessory dwellings from being within 15 or 10 to 15 feet of that preservation. If we do it with covenants and restrictions, they can build it 1 foot off of that tree preservation. And it's not necessarily maintaining that 50-foot open space as we are intending in here. So I completely understand where the counselor is coming from, and I understand that it is a weird area, but I don't disagree with Mike saying that, okay, if we're going to contemplate that, what we were really asking for was a 50-foot tree preservation with the setbacks that would come with that. And now what we're saying is that, no, we don't have to have those setbacks anymore. And so we are effectively shrinking the size of that tree preservation buffer. And that's the concern. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying that that's what we're doing. Is so if we want to make this a covenant, we should add that additional setback back in as a no-build zone that needs to be maintained. It doesn't necessarily, not saying I agree with that, because if that was going to be grass before, it's just what happens when somebody wants to put a pool in and they're right next to the tree.
I would think it'd be a retaining wall or something like that. Commissioner Anderson.
So I agree with Councilor Mullins about the appropriate way to deal with this, and I would support Commissioner Hill's motion, but I do want to say that having this requirement at all just feels, as much as I like trees, it feels like it's just not great.
Just for clarity on that was actually attached at county commission.
I still want to say it.
Yeah, I
Like, it
understand.
feel like, as somebody that deals with this professionally on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
like, what's going to happen if one person's trees fall? Then do they no longer, and that gets back to I guess the setback line, but nobody that buys these houses 2 or 3 transfers down is going to know that this buffer exists. And if their trees have fallen, it just, if it is what it is and this is what we've got to live with, great. But I mean, sometimes I just want to say, putting things like this out there, they work better on paper than they do in the real world. So.
Can I say something real quick to both those points?
Absolutely.
I agree. I think the best thing that can be accomplished when these types of buffers are put in is to make sure that the builder, when they're building it, doesn't disturb that. And then it's kind of the Wild West after that. And we do what we can to enforce it, but it is what it is. The other thing, and these are the type of conversations that make my head hurt, if you're saying, well, let's go ahead and do the 50-foot tree preservation buffer and then add an additional setback on top of that, we're effectively changing and increasing the minimum setbacks for a zone that doesn't have it. And so we're, through a condition and the subdivision regulations, amending the zoning ordinance. And while I understand the desire to do that and the practicality behind it, I don't think we have the legal authority to do that. And so that I think the best tool we have now until the rules are amended would be to make it a covenant restriction.
Commissioner Biggs.
Feel free to shut me up if this is a bad idea, but is there an opportunity to require effectively a privacy fence so that there is almost a de facto property line that's set at the setback so that there's more awareness of the landowner? Yeah, I don't know. All right, just thought.
Yeah, I would tend to lean towards Counselor's concern too. Again, we're already saying you can't build in this 50 feet. I mean, I could see somebody building a house all the way up to that 50 feet, and then, that's their rear set, it's the rear of the house, wherever the deck is and that kind of thing. But yeah, that would be a concern for me. It's like, it keeps creeping up further. So I know we have a motion and a second on the floor, eliminating the staff recommendation for condition number 6. Would the motion, Commissioner Hill, would you consider a friendly amendment on item number 6?
I think I'm good with what I got.
All right. It was. Okay, so
Who made that second? I missed it.
All I did was to delete the last, 4 or 5 words, the 50-foot buffer, period. What?
Okay. The striking of item number 6.
please.
Commissioner, I think we might need a little bit, either strike it all together or add some additional context to it rather than just the 50-foot buffer.
What kind of context would you like?
Well, in condition number 5, it says maintaining a tree buffer with the 50-foot depth. It gives more of the detail of what that is. I'm wondering what you're thinking in terms of the rationale of keeping just that phrase.
What,
for
my
for
context
6.
is not be in a separate lot.
Right.
Okay, well then, I think you want to strike it all together.
I think you could probably keep
Okay.
number 6 and
Okay,
then just
strike.
say it's to plat the easement, or plat the tree preservation line put it on the plat.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
probably
if you said, in item number 6, instead of striking it, instead of it saying the 50-foot tree buffer shall be in common area, the 50-foot tree buffer shall be recorded on the final plat.
Okay.
Something like that. Is that okay?
And I would even say, if you wanted to amend 6, you can say, and shall be protected through deed restrictions. To put that requirement in there to make sure that they actually do that.
That's what I would do.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Shall be protected via deed restriction.
right. So so item number 6, condition number 6 would read, the 50-foot tree buffer shall be recorded on the final plat and and
Protected
protected
via
by
deed
the deed restrictions.
Before we vote, I want to ask, what is a tree buffer? Does it mean that you can't remove trees? Does it mean that you have to plant them back if they fall?
I think the condition was do not disturb.
Do not disturb. So is that a better, and can you never disturb it?
Is there a definition? Of
Right? Like if all the trees fall, can you mow it?
Yeah, these are all good things that need to get picked up in the UDO, I think, with definitions, because you're right.
And it just feels, and again, I'm not trying to beat the dead horse here, but it just feels like we all in our heads think, okay, it'd be nice to have this 50-foot section of trees. We'll call it a tree buffer. Well, I don't really think that that's preserving the trees. Like, I don't see how, I don't know. Whatever.
It wasn't our condition. We're respecting county commission. I don't think this body wants to impose it. I think that we're just respecting what county commission wanted.
All right, very good. Commissioner Hill, did you have any other comments? So
Y'all already made them for me.
Right. So we have a motion from Commissioner Hill amending to approve the concept plan subject to 9 conditions, amending condition number 6 to the 50-foot tree buffer shall be recorded on the final plat and also recorded on the deed or recorded in the covenants and restrictions for the subdivision.
Protected by deed restrictions.
And protected by the covenants.
By deed restrictions.
Deed restrictions. Protected by deed restrictions. Sorry, got it. Okay, so we have a motion. Who was the second on that? Barger, yes, thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Barger. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. You have another motion,
Approve
please?
the development plan for up to 12 single-family houses on individual lots and reduction of the peripheral boundary as shown on the development plan, subject to the one condition.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill and a second by Commissioner Barger. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
30. Okay. Okay, this was pulled.
Number 30.
Yeah. Okay, but now we are on to agenda item number 30. It's a subdivision concept development plan. There will be 3 motions, one for the alternative design standards, one for the concept plan, one for the development plan. The subdivision is on Bradley Lake Lane. Applicant is Masana Investments. Location is southeast side of Bradley Lake Lane, southeast of Amherst. The zoning is PRK up to 6 dwelling units per acre and industrial, agricultural and industrial. The proposed use is a detached residential subdivision with 81 lots. The staff recommendation on the alternative design standards is to approve the alternative design standards based on the justification provided by the applicant and recommendations of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works. The concept plan staff recommendation is to approve the concept plan subject to 14 conditions. The staff recommendation on the development plan is to approve the development plan for up to 81 detached residential lots and reduction of the peripheral setback from 35 to 25 feet along the Bradley Lake Lane frontage as shown on the development plan, subject to 3 conditions. Is the applicant present? I see Mr. Davis. Is there any opposition for this? We have 2 people signed up. Would you like to defer, Mr. Davis, or do you want to speak first?
Scott Davis, P.O. Box 11315, Knoxville 37939. I generally prefer to defer, but in this particular case, we actually had a concept plan that was approved previously for 85 units. We are actually reducing the number of units on this plan from 85 to 81. So I would respectfully request you all approve as per staff recommendation, and I'll reserve my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. So do we have Chase Crutchfield or Maxine Crutchfield? Name and address for the record, please.
Chase Crutchfield, 2901 Bradley Lake Lane. So I live at the end of this development at the end of Bradley Lake Lane. I really have no problem with the development itself and the fact that there's 81 houses in there. The reason I'm here, I'm on well water and septic and sewer. And any kind of land disturbance does disturb that. There is no sewer or anything ran to the end of Bradley. Actually, there's no sewer ran to where this development is currently right now. I know that in the plans it shows that there will be sewer ran there. My question, I guess, there was a business there that did coatings, floor coatings there for 40 to 50 years. You can see it on the satellite image that it's there. It's been there my entire life. I've lived at this place my entire life. So my concern is well water contamination for me. And then what kind of what we do after that, if that happens, and or if that happens, is am I guaranteed sewer at that point at no cost to me? Also, Bradley Lake Lane is 10 to 12 foot wide, some narrower in places. As you know, it takes big equipment to move this stuff. We have lived there since, like I said, I've been there for 40 years personally. When the Jumpin' Jack Lane, Bogart Lane, Dusty Rose Lane development there was done, multiple times we were unable to leave for 15, 20 minutes at a time because of bulldozers and stuff parked in the middle of Bradley Lake Lane. Just need to have some kind of provisions in the development plan or in the concept that says the road will remain open for my residential area.
Thank you, sir. Does Maxine want to speak as well, or is she here?
That's my wife. She's okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Crutchfield. Mr. Davis, can you answer any of the sewer questions? I mean, you're going to bring sewer up there. Is it something that he could have access to, or?
We are bringing the sewer to our property, and if they want to extend it beyond that, we obviously don't have a problem there. He can work that out with, I think it's KUB, I think.
Right.
I get them all mixed up. And we are actually improving Bradley Lake Lane. We did the subdivision adjacent. We improved the intersection at Bradley Lake Lane and Amherst, and we're going to continue that all the way down to our subdivision. So we'll be widening Bradley Lake down to there, yes, sir.
Very good. And is there, and I guess this might be a question for engineering too, I mean, when you're doing that much road work, is there any kind of road traffic plan, or have you guys looked at?
Yeah, he'll have to submit a traffic control plan that we'll review and approve.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Crutchfield, that's part of what the county will do, is ensure that you still have good, safe access while it's under construction over there.
I assume that was done before on the previous development at the bottom too as well?
I couldn't tell you.
Is that standard operating practice? Is that?
It should be, and if you have any problems, you can always just reach out to engineering, and they can help you with that. Okay. But as far as the sewer, yeah, I would suggest you reach out to your local utility district, because it sounds like Mr. Davis is going to the expense of bringing, gravity sewer somewhere in the vicinity. But I don't know exactly where that is. But I've certainly seen neighbors work something out with the utility company to try to access that. So that would take away your septic tank and that type of thing. So just
Sure.
I would coordinate
to
that.
me would that be a cost to me though? That would not be covered by
That's between you and the utility company, I believe. So yeah, you could talk to them about that.
I guess that's my concern in the development causing. I have no interest in going to city or to sewer water or anything like that. I've been self-sufficient on well for the entirety of this property being built. So that is my concern more than anything, especially with the chemical plant that was there before. Not a plant, but a business.
Sure, understood. Yeah, I would just stay in touch and in close contact with city, or county engineering and the local utilities, and they'll take care of that.
Yeah, and I have no qualm on the development. It's part of the progress, I guess. But
Very good. Yeah, no, appreciate your comments. Thanks for coming down.
thank you for letting me speak.
Yes, sir. Any commissioners have any questions? Again, this will require 3 motions: alternative design standards, concept plan, development plan. But real quick on the alternative design, the engineering has no problem with the design that they've shown?
No, we reviewed those and we're good with them.
Very good. The chair will entertain a motion.
Just had one question. Looks like to the, I guess, east and kind of south of this property, there's undeveloped land. Was there any thought given to potential, connectivity to adjacent parcels during this concept plan? for future development.
I think Ms. Warner, is there, Ms. Warner?
Yeah, I think there are issues with the grade change, so we didn't require a stub out.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Mr. Anderson.
I'd like to move to approve the alternative design standards based upon the justification provided by the applicant and recommendations of the Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works.
Second. We have a motion to approve the alternative design planners by Commissioner Anderson, a second by Commissioner Levinson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
I move to approve the concept plan subject to the 14 stated conditions.
Second. We have a motion to approve the concept plan up to for concept plan subject to the 14 conditions by Commissioner Anderson, seconded by Commissioner Levinson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
I move to approve the development plan for up to 81 detached residential lots and a reduction of the peripheral setback from 35 feet to 25 feet along the Bradley Lake Lane frontage as shown on the development plan, subject to the 3 stated conditions.
Second. We have a motion and a second motion by Commissioner Anderson and a second by Commissioner Levinson to approve the development plan for up to 81 detached residential lots. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
All right, thank you all for your time and your service.
Thank you. Got 2 more? Great. All right, we're on item number 31. This one will require 3 motions as well. It's an alternative design standards request, a concept plan, and a development plan. The subdivision is Clubhouse Villas. That's in Getty's View. Applicant developer is Mike Stevens Homes. The location is north side of Getty's View Drive, northeast of the Polo Club Lane. The zoning is up to 5, planned residential up to 5 dwelling units per acre. Existing land use is private recreation. Proposed use is attached and detached residential subdivision with 15 structures, 15 lots. The staff recommendation on the alternative design is to approve the alternative design standards based on the justification provided by the applicant and recommendations of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works. The staff recommendation on the concept plan is to approve the concept plan subject to 7 conditions. The staff recommendation on the development plan is to approve the development plan for up to 1 detached and 14 attached dwellings on all on individual lots and a reduction of the peripheral setback from 35 feet to 15 feet along most boundary lines as shown on the development plan, subject to 3 conditions. Is the applicant present?
Present.
Very good. Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Taylor Forrester, 1111 North Shore Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919.
Very good. Is there any opposition to this request? Item number 31, I don't see any on my list. Anyone? Not seeing any. You have the floor, Mr. Forrester.
Thank you. Here on behalf of Mike Stevens Homes, as probably many of you recall, we were here into last year, I believe in October, for rezoning. To rezone the property. It was already PR, it was at 3 units an acre, and to increase it to a total of 5 units per acre. The size of the parcel is about 3.9 acres. As Commissioner Chair Huber mentioned, that the development will consist of 15 residential units, 1 being detached and then 14 attached units. These will all be on individual lots, very consistent with the existing neighborhood. Mike Stevens Homes representatives, prior to the rezoning, met with community representatives multiple times. Those communications, those conversations and discussions have continued. They've met with them leading up to this meeting, showing site plans, elevations, renderings, in order to make sure that the community representatives thought it was an appropriate development for the Getty's View community. They will continue to have those discussions, continue those meetings. Got a good relationship fostered there. There are a few opposition comments on the website, but still more positive comments in support of the request. We'd ask that you approve 3 motions: the alternative design standards, the concept plan, and the development plan, seeing that it's consistent with the planned residential zoning ordinance, and satisfies the criteria for development plan approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Forster. I want to go on the record to say appreciate you and your client reaching out to the neighbors. I know there was one request that came out across the desk out here that wasn't well received. And I appreciate you guys going back to the drawing board and working with the neighborhood to get that worked out. So I see a couple of lights on here. Commissioner Levinson. Mr. Gill.
Mr. Gill.
So I want to say that this is an exciting thing. I used to work at the clubhouse, which is right adjacent to this. As I was putting myself through college, I'm familiar with that section of land, and it always struck me as really weird that was not developed as part of the rest of that neighborhood. It's a fantastic neighborhood, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be excited about the opportunity to live there. Gettysview is a fantastic place to live. So I think that from what I see, the developer's taken great care to integrate this with the neighborhood and under the neighborhood's advice. So I would be in support of this and would want to make the motion to start to approve the alternative design standards that based on the justifications provided by the applicant and the recommendations of the Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Gill and seconded by Commissioner Levinson to approve the alternative design. And real quick, just want to make sure with the county that you guys have looked at that and you're okay with the alternative design plan.
Yes, we've reviewed and are okay with them.
Very good, thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
And then I'd like to make the motion to approve the development plan for up to 1 detached and 14 attached dwelling units on individual lots as detailed in the plan.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Gill and seconded by Commissioner Levinson to approve the development plan for up to the 14 attached dwelling units and 1 detached. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I know, we still got to do the concept plan too. You did. This is the second. Yeah, under staff recommendation, it says approve the alternative design plans, then we get it.
Yeah, I make so moved there. I make a motion to approve the concept plan subject to the 7 listed conditions.
Second.
Perfect. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Gill and a second by Commissioner Levinson to approve the concept plan subject to 7 conditions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you. That's all right. We'll make it. Okay, we are on to agenda item number 32. Subdivision is Buttermilk Road subdivision. This one, fun, is 5 motions. So we have 2 variances, an alternative design standards, concept plan, and a development plan. So the subdivision again is Buttermilk Road. On Buttermilk Road, applicant is Ball Homes LLC. Location is south side of Buttermilk Road, west of Graybeal. The approximate acreage is 43.84 acres. The zoning is PRK up to 2 dwelling units per acre. The number of lots requested is 87. Okay, the staff recommendation on variance 1 is to approve the variance to reduce the K value from 25 to 20 at the intersection of Road A and Buttermilk Road. Staff recommendation on variance number 2 is approve the variance to reduce the K value from 25 to 15 at the intersection of Road B and Hickory Meadows Drive. Staff recommendation for the alternative design plan is to approve the alternative design standards based on the justification provided by the applicant and recommendations of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works. The 4th motion, staff recommended on the concept plan. Staff recommends that we approve the concept plan subject to 8 conditions. The 5th motion would be on the development plan. Staff recommends approve the development plan for up to 87 single-family homes on individual lots and reduction of the peripheral boundary as shown on the development plan subject to 1 condition. Is the applicant present?
Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street, here for the applicant, Ball Homes, and Ryan Hickey's here as well.
Is there any opposition to this file? I don't have any on my list. I don't see any in the crowd. Very good. Thank you, Counselor. Real quick on the engineering side, you guys have, Knox County Engineering has looked at the alternative design plans?
Yes, we've looked at them and we're good with them.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And okay, Counselor, you have the floor.
Again, Ben Mullins, we appreciate the work on this. We ask that you approve per staff's recommendation.
I'll make a motion to approve a variance to reduce the K value from 25 to 20 at the intersection of Road A and Buttermilk Road for the reasons in A, B, and C.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill to approve the variance number 1, seconded by Anderson, Commissioner Anderson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Make a motion to approve variance to reduce the K value from 25 to 15 at the intersection of Road B and Hickory Meadows Drive, and for the justifications in A, B, and C.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill, seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve variance number 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, none, the ayes have it.
Make a motion to approve the alternative design standards based on justification provided by the applicant and recommendations of the Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill and seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve the alternative design standards. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Make a motion to approve concept plan subject to 8 noted conditions.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill, seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve the concept plan subject to 8 conditions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Make a motion to approve development plan for up to 87 single-family houses on individual lots and reduction of the peripheral boundary as shown on the development plan, subject to the 1 condition.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill, seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve the development plan for up to 87 single-family homes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
All right, moving right along to item number 33. This is only 2 motions, concept plan and a development plan. The subdivision is Simmons Farm on Roberts Road. Applicant developer is Josh Sanderson. The location is on the west side of Roberts Road, north of Washington Pike. The zoning is planned residential up to 2 units per acre. The number of lots requested is 149. Staff's recommendation is to approve the concept plan subject to 14 conditions. Staff's recommendation on the second motion for the development plan is to approve the development plan for up to 149 detached residential lots subject to 2 conditions. Is the applicant present? Okay, Mr. Sanderson. Is there any opposition to this? Okay, we have a Jamie Smith and a Brian Harris. And we have an Adam Thompson. Okay. So, Mr. Sanderson, do you want to go first, or would you like to defer?
I'll defer to opposition.
Very good. So, Mr. Smith, you want to start? Jamie Smith? Yeah. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Jamie Smith, 425 Meadow Breeze Road. I am president of Land and Farms Acquisitions. I grew up in the Carnes community and seen the farmland there over time be completely turned into subdivisions. We all know what's going on there. I grew up next to farms and all that, and not against the development in general, but we're trying to fight to keep more rural and farmland still farmland. And so, you know, we've got a lot of family and friends over in the Quarantine Gibbs area. We moved there about 7 years ago ourselves to transition into rural living, and are kind of our final home, and retire there. And since then, we've seen hundreds of acres that have been bought by Smith Built and others. They've got a couple of developments out there right now. But you know, I guess the hard thing about it is, and the question I'll pose is, they own hundreds of acres already in the suburban side of Gibbs and rural and Quarantine area. And none of that land is being developed right now. And now they purchased this 80 acres on Roberts Road, the Simmons Farm, and applying to develop that. And so, this is, they've had we've seen no record of them trying to engage the community on this at all, Corrington or Roberts Road, neighbors there. The character of this rural community is why we moved there, and it's a lot of the reason why we desire to protect it. And so today, we're asking that you deny this. There's generations to come that are going to be affected. The soil on this particular farm is prime for agriculture and farming. And so if this is approved today, we fear that this will jeopardize any attempts for this farm and many others like it this far out to ever be used as farmland again.
Very good. Mr. Smith, you've got 2 more minutes.
Yes,
and
sir.
I know you've got two more folks
So
want to speak.
closing, I just want to encourage you guys to make a better choice today. And we're against this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Harris, state your name and address for the record, please.
Brian Harris, 8407 Mari Ben Lane in Corrington. And I do agree with everything he said. I'm a resident that my backyard faces the farmland behind our homes, and I'm petitioning the Planning Commission to take a very careful look at what's being proposed on this new subdivision. The current submitted plan creates very crowded home layout pushed in front of the full tract in the first half of the full tract, even though the zoning requirements call for 2 units per acre. Most of these are less than 10,000 square feet, which is less than 1/5 of an acre. So this is going right into the middle of our beautiful community. And I just don't think that this is something that we can let this one subdivision dictate what is going to be happening to the rest of Corrington. Thank you. And I've got some pictures I'd like to submit.
Yeah, please give them over here to the right. That'd be perfect. We'll make it part of the record. Commissioner Adam Thompson, name and address for the record, please.
Adam Thompson, 6726 Little Flat Creek Lane in Corrington. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done this at planning. So just for a little historical perspective on this, because at the rezoning, there were the property south of this, the Mary Ben Acres, that subdivision right there. If you can look at just the scale difference between the 2 properties, that one was used to justify, or I guess speak positively about rezoning this one. That one, back in the early 2000s, was recommended by planning staff for denial because it didn't fit, it didn't work. But it was approved by Planning Commission, thus approved by County Commission. Now, we're using what staff recommended denial for before as approval. Well, this one was, again, recommended for denial, but Planning Commission approved it, thus County Commission approved it. But with County Commission approval, it was not unanimous, right? And so one thing that stuck out to me now that I'm on County Commission is that our votes have consequences, particularly when we're running for office. And so if those in this area, in the Corrington area, don't want to see more development like this, they need to let us know with their votes, right? But since the zoning is complete, it's done. It's on paper, it's finalized, it's past County Commission, it's in your hands. Now we're looking at the design and concept. The plan amendment was made to rural residential. This design concept plan has nothing to do with a rural feel, a rural look, a rural concept. It just doesn't. The lot sizes are very small. Commissioner Overton, during the rezoning, you had 2 things that you said that kind of stuck out to me. One was that we were talking about half-acre lots. These are not half-acre lots. Yes, it's 2 units per acre, but we're not talking about 2 half-acre lots. But that was used in the discussion to justify the rezoning. The other one is we don't live in green acres anymore. Well, out in this area, some of us still do, and we like it. But since this is 2 units an acre, the design concept, being in a rural residential place type, should look rural. It should have some rural aspects to it. This is so crammed in, you can't put a tree, a twig, a bush. There's barely enough room for a blade of grass when the houses are 10 feet apart from each other. This is an issue for us. So as he spoke about the soil type, the soil that you're about to put houses on, every bit of it, if you pull up the soil map, it's prime farmland. We have historical data, not that far back, that the corn production on this property has reached state record levels. That's the quality of soil you're about to take off and cram full of homes. And the rest of the property is not prime farmland. So just take that in consideration. It is rural residential place type. Just consider how much of this design is actually rural looking. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Mr. Sanderson, you have, we didn't time that last bit, but I'd say give you
I'll be
7
brief.
minutes if you need it.
I'll be brief. Josh Sanderson, 4909 Ball Road. Good afternoon. This is the second time y'all have seen this concept come in front of you. Just to touch base on a few things that Commissioner Thompson and Mr. Harris said. We're using the word farmland. It's not farmland. The farmland went away a long time ago. It's not being farmed. It's vacant land. The landowners who have a right to sell it sold it to us. Now I'm a landowner. I don't want to farm it. I want to build houses on it. I've gone through every single thing in every aspect that it takes. I went to the rezoning. We got rezoning. That was when it was time to fight the development. Now we're concepting. And if you don't care whoever's operating the computer, pull up the aerial. Everyone keeps talking about rural. Look at that, zoom out a little bit more. That TVA substation does not scream rural, it screams city. You can hear it halfway to Roberts Road. That is forcing us to cluster up front because no one wants to live next to that. So what we've done is we've taken the concept and we're trying to bring affordable housing out to Gibbs because people that live in Gibbs want to continue to live in Gibbs and they're not going to have anywhere to live. So we're trying to bring a $300,000 house to Gibbs and go up from there. So the lots do go from 45 feet, 55 feet, 65 feet, 75 feet, and some are 100 feet wide. Some are 4-acre, 5-acre tracts that someone can build a larger home and have an accessory structure or have livestock. So we have branched out and done exactly what we are very confident that 149 families are going to trust us to make the most expensive purchase of their life and put 149 homeowners in here that can build equity and can have something that can change their life. That's what we do at Smith Build. We build the homes, we sell them, and people have generational wealth because they have a homeowner. Today's average first-time home buyer is 40. I can just look at this board. I know for a fact that most of y'all are homeowners and have multiple homes. Taking homeownership away from the generations of the 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, think about when you bought that first home and then you sold it. That amount of wealth that you gained is life-changing. And now these 40-year-olds are cramming into apartments or duplexes or one-car garage townhomes that you see all over Knox County because developers and builders have been forced to build a product they think people want. They don't want that. We're very confident that people want these 2-car garage, single family, front yard, backyard. We'll have amenities in here. We'll have green space. On sewer, we got road improvements we have to do. It's a win-win. And again, I've been in front of y'all before on this. We're passionate about this. I'll yield the rest of the time for any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, this is always an emotional, situation, and all good comments on both sides for sure. It is growing. I know there's good farmland out there, and everybody wants to preserve that. I mean, there's still the, agricultural. Maybe down here, wherever it is now, on the Tennessee symbol. As I look at it still, though, too, we are growing, though, and I think development's going to follow sewer. I mean, the gravity sewer, and it's got sewer out there. Is that right? Am I correct? Okay, yeah. So there's sewer out there, and there's multiple. I think across the street it's zoned planned residential up to 4 units an acre. I think this body recommended 3 units an acre, if I'm not mistaken, on this actual property. Then when it went to county commission, it was decided it would be better used at 2 units an acre. It's planned residential. Now, if you read planned residential, now we are working on the UDO, which I think we need to work through a lot of this stuff. Planned residential, the zone that we have right now, does encourage some of the clustering, I think, that this concept plan shows, and preserving a lot of that area in the back. It might not be great for farmland, but I saw some really pretty pictures from somebody's backyard, I think. Yeah, that's beautiful. So hopefully, some of the neighbors will still have some of that view over there. But Commissioner Anderson, I believe you had a comment.
Commissioner Overton's light was on first, and since she was named, I'll let her.
My apologies.
Thank you. I didn't defer to you earlier, so I guess I owe you one. Yeah, I mean, just to what people have raised so far, we live in the 3rd largest metropolitan area in the 15th largest state in the country. So the idea that this is farmland and green acres is a figment of everyone's imagination. And I think that, Commissioner Thompson knows that. That's why he keeps his life insurance license active. I think he also knows, or he should as a commissioner, that, what Chair Huber mentioned about clustering. So you can do quick math and say, hey, we're going to have half-acre lots. Or you can say, as per what we all agreed upon in the comprehensive plan, which County Commission passed with flying colors, we're going to cluster development on large lots and leave large open space in rural communities. So that's exactly what we're doing here. I don't see a problem with that. And if farming's so lucrative, everyone had the opportunity to buy this lot themselves, but they didn't. Mr. Sanderson did. It's zoned properly. The concept plan, meets the standards of engineering and the subdivision regulations. So I'll make a motion to approve the concept plan subject to the 14 conditions listed in staff's report.
Did I hear a second? Or Commissioner Anderson, did you have a comment?
Yes, so I would like to second that, but I do want to just make sure that condition number 6, that we're all on the same page, that it will not be lot 17, it will just be CA1. Is that, I know we talked about that at agenda review.
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct, Commissioner.
So then I second that motion.
Okay. Well, we have a motion by Commissioner Overton and a second by Commissioner Anderson on the floor. Commissioner Biggs.
I wanted to just ask Commission if they'd entertain an additional condition requiring at least pedestrian access out to the stub out on Colossus. I think it's Colossus Lane in the adjacent neighborhood. A lot of comments online about how Roberts Road is congested, dangerous already. We know there's going to be a lot of families in here. There's going to be kids with relationships in the neighborhood adjacent, and per kind of our view of good planning, we know that connectivity is important. Seems like there's a readily available opportunity here to enable that with the Colossal Lane stub out that already exists next door. So that would be my one request, is that we add a condition to the concept plan requesting a pedestrian connection to the Colossal Lane stub out.
So you're suggesting that over lot 1?
I guess over lot 1, or if there's a way to add the required kind of right-of-way between some of those lots, that would be my request.
Mr. Sanderson, it looks like the sewer line runs right on that common lot line too. Is that correct?
I believe it does.
Between lot 1 and 2?
First of all, we will run sidewalks in here regardless if we have to or not. If it's doable, we don't mind to do it. I don't know if Mary Ben wants it.
So if you were to run sidewalks, you wouldn't be opposed to running one down the common line of lot 1 and 2 over to the stub road. That
as long as we're not crossing, I haven't studied it because we just didn't touch it. So I don't know if those homeowners will want it.
I do. Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely, please.
I do kind of remember when we heard this before, the people in Mary Ben did not want the stub out to the new neighborhood. And from what I can remember being in that neighborhood, there is a significant grade right there that would not maybe allow a sidewalk. If someone from staff has more to say about that. But I do know that was kind of talked about last time.
And Commissioner Biggs, instead of making a requirement, I'd be more than happy to meet you or anyone else out on site and discuss it, but we will have internal sidewalks for the homeowners in our community to enjoy. And if it's something Mary Ben wants, we have no objection to helping them and running it over there too.
Yeah, no, I absolutely appreciate it and think it's great that you guys will have the sidewalk option there. And I think this is a struggle that I have, even if the Mary Ben neighborhood, you got some homeowners who are objecting to it. I think this is a long-term planning decision, and we're laying out street grids that are going to be here for decades. And so just want to make sure we're kind of adhering to what we believe is best practice from a planning and a connectivity standpoint. So yeah, that would be my request, is even if we just left the right of way there for future potential connectivity, that would be I think a win here.
We can discuss that for sure.
Commissioner Gill.
Yeah, thank you. I know that there's a motion on the floor, so I'll be brief, but I do want to point out that it's clear that we do need density. We have housing. I am definitely a proponent of more housing. I just gladly voted for something that I can see from my front yard that's an RN6 in my own neighborhood. I live in a dense area. I understand what that means. But I am struck by the comments that we've heard here today about our place types and how our comprehensive land use plan is not necessarily reflected in the concept plans that were being given by developers. I understand that PR under 2, and I remember this one, we were envisioning not 149 units clustered at the front, but that's exactly what PR allows for. And to me, there's not a whole lot of difference between a suburban residential and rural living in this case. And while I understand that we need housing, and this is past the point where this is going to be a farm, this has been rezoned, that ship has sailed, I don't think that it is entirely unfounded for the neighborhood to say, but what we were envisioning was not 149 houses right on top of each other, right on the road. This is supposed to be rural living and look like other places in here. And we just do not have the tools right now in our zoning code to give this body, much less a developer, any idea of what that means. And I know that we have talked at length on this body about the UDO, and one of the things that I keep bringing up, and I'm going to bring it up again, is that I can't reasonably make decisions as to what we're supposed to be targeting in a concept plan for approval when the comprehensive land use plan is completely divorced from whatever the code describes. If rural conservation, rural living, and suburban living are all the same thing, as long as it's in a PR zone and you cluster where you're supposed to, then these place types are irrelevant and they don't make sense. So, as we're moving forward, I am saying on the record that there needs to be a distinguishment between rural living and suburban mixed residential and suburban residential and rural conservation that is more than just, hey, yeah, it's 2 units during dwelling acre on a 75-foot, acre lot, so we're good to go, everybody's happy about it. I don't disagree that this is going to be turning into a development. I don't think it's necessarily unreasonable for the neighbor or the neighbors to be a little upset that what they asked for is not what is reflected in this concept plan. And I don't know if we have the tools to say anything else. So knowing that this is going to commission and commission is going to hear this conversation, I encourage, as the UDO comes back, that if this is something that people don't want to see, that there is a public process to make sure the UDO reflects rural living, actually reflects what they think in their minds.
So just for clarity, this will stay with us. It's a concept plan and development plan, so it will not move.
I understand. I understand. What I'm saying is the UDO, I misspoke. As the UDO moves forward, this needs to
we need to
be resolved because.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think we need to get some more, get them more aligned than where they are now. We are in this transitional period and growing pains, if you will, currently between the 2 plans and what it allows. Commissioner Anderson.
I have a question. I want to make sure. So Commissioner Bigg's request, is that being incorporated into?
It has not yet.
Okay. I personally would not support that. Just throw that out there. But I want to, maybe this is not the right time or place to mention this, but along what Commissioner Gill is saying, and I think one thing that I keep getting struck with when I look at some of these concept plans and in the PR zoning is that it would be really hard, based upon a lot of the challenges we have in East Tennessee, to not have to cluster development in a lot of the subdivisions. I mean, I like to think about like where I live, and, you know, those neighborhoods were developed, say, in 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I think if you were to try to do them now, they'd all be clustered. Like, you'd have to. I mean, it just, and so, I don't know. I mean, to some extent, if we are wanting for people to understand why things are the way they are, I mean, maybe that, it would be important for us to really discuss that and lay it out there that say, hey, like, you're not going to get the same size lots that you got in West Hills. Like, it's just not going to happen. I mean, because even if you did find a piece of land like that to develop now, I don't know that regulation-wise you could do it. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I do think that we are a lot more aware of some of the results that can come from, you know, developing in challenged property. But historically, if we didn't abide by those, and so we have what we have, and going forward, I just, it's hard for me to imagine that we're not going to see more and more and more small lots in clustered subdivisions.
Yeah, and I think you're right too. I mean, it's interesting in a shift. One of the biggest issues in Knox County, all around Knox County, has been sprawl. You know, we've talked about it, and that's where you get the bigger lots, and it just spreads everything out, and then that gets into the farmland. I think that's really what planned residential, good, bad, or indifferent. That was why it was designed that way, to be able to cluster. It was designed to cluster to save the more sensitive areas, not necessarily the better soil for farming, but it's, you know, the more sensitive sinkholes or steep areas, that type of thing, and it encourages the clustering of it. Yeah, but now we've got a rural place type out here, and, you know, they're wanting bigger lots again, which, you know, it's a bit of a juxtaposition, but I do, again, to Commissioner Gill, I think we do need to align, you know, with the UDO, really think about what needs to happen in there, but from a marketability perspective, I agree, I think, and from affordability, that's really high on my mind. You know, the larger lots, it's more pavement, it's more impervious, it's more expensive. Everything just gets more and more, and we're pricing people out. I mean, the kids that go to UT can't afford to live here. It's like a brain drain, you know. They come in and get our best and brightest have to move somewhere else because they can't even afford to live here. So anyway, Commissioner Shuck.
Thank you. Just very briefly, I wanted to echo Commissioner Biggs' request to consider connectivity. I appreciate the applicant's stated willingness to look at that. I would support that as an additional condition. I think it's forward-looking, and if we're going to build this development with all these people there, I think the additional pedestrian access would be a benefit.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Shuck. Just going down that, Commissioner Overton, we do not have a second. You have made the first motion to approve. Did you want? There was. Did you second that? Okay, that's right. You did in your other discussion. Sorry. So we do have a first and a second. Did you want to consider a friendly amendment to that, or how did you want to?
No offense, because I like connectivity too, but I just think it's kind of better handled between the developer and kind of that in-between stuff when we're not considering the plat here today as it would stub out, and we've not heard from the other neighborhood as well. I just think it's better today to just go with it as it is. I just want to make sure, though, that my motion incorporates what Commissioner Anderson was saying about that one lot.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Comment number 6. Yes, that is correct. And you're good with that? I'm good. Very good. Okay, well, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the concept plan subject to 14 conditions, number 6 being slightly altered. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed?
No.
We have 1, Mr. Biggs. 2, I'm sorry. 3, 4, 5. All right. All right, let's do a quick call. Or you just want to raise hands? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. So we got Commissioner Biggs, Commissioner Gill, Commissioner Butler, Commissioner Perez, and Commissioner Shuck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so what? Okay, the concept plan passes 9-5. We will now need a motion on the development plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the development plan for up to 149 detached residential lots, subject to the 2 conditions listed in staff's report.
We have a motion to approve the development plan up to 149 detached residential units by Commissioner Overton, seconded by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? I'm assuming it is the same. Anybody change their vote? No? Okay, the motion will pass 9-5. And that is it. Thank you. Congratulations. Good luck. Please, yeah, if you could talk to, keep that in mind about the connectivity. Thank you. So with that, we are, unless any commissioners have anything they want to bring up outside of that, I think we are adjourned.